It's Friday, and you know what that means. The latest edition of Talking Politics comes to you from the Hudson Media Group studio. And certainly, I am the generational talent in Garden State Media. And I'll continue to be the hero you need right now, folks, because as the establishment media in New Jersey continues to lie to you every single day, guess who won't? That's right, it's me, Fernando Uribe. Hope you had a wonderful summer, a very eventful one for me, certainly. And of course, I want to thank you for tuning in from wherever and however you may be doing so. Of course, folks, we are here for the season premiere, we're here for the fall season with the Hudson Media Group. And of course, folks, there is a lot to discuss, so let's get started. Here's what I'm thinking about right now. Well, folks, yes, for me, it was quite the eventful summer. Got to travel, go to Colombia, got to go to Las Vegas. But certainly, folks, cancel culture is alive and well. And I got to experience that firsthand with all of the local social justice clowns, woke fools, unattractive feminists, insufferable cat ladies, and of course, the alphabet mob, who were out for blood this summer in the name of Fernando Uribe. So I'm not going to give you a long-winded sort of narrative about what happened, but I'm going to give you a brief synopsis here. Now, myself, along with John Highness, the editor of the Hudson County View, and of course, the host of Hudson County View Live every single week here with the Hudson Media Group, we're scheduled to host a mayoral candidate forum in Jersey City. And for anybody that knows about scheduling these events, it can be quite laborious and time-consuming because, of course, you have to coordinate with various candidates. Well, John and I were not deterred. And while we were trying to get it scheduled at New Jersey City University's School of Business in downtown Jersey City, right by Exchange Place, that ended up not materializing. So we decided to move the venue somewhere else. And of course, because of my contacts within nightlife in Hudson County, we were able to secure a venue also in downtown Jersey City, specifically at the Ashford, but it ended up being at 626, which as we all know, is Hudson County's only LGBTQ exclusive bar and restaurant. Well, nevertheless, folks, the minute the flyer was published, well, as you would know it, all the local cat ladies and all the lesbians and everybody in the alphabet mob started menstruating about, oh my goodness, how dare this venue host a rabid homophobe and transphobe like Fernando Uribe. Well, folks, we all know that's bullshit because I'm none of those things. But of course, as you all know, that when many on the left, when they hear things that they don't like, well, the easy card to play is, well, you're a blankist or a blankphobe. That's the only playbook the left has. More on the left later. But of course, folks, subsequently after that, once these insufferable activists, like, Caleb Burrell and others in Jersey City, of course, whether it was like local moms groups, and you know which ones I'm talking about, the stay-at-home moms who go through a bottle of wine every night and are surfing social media to, try to engage in cancel culture against conservatives. We all know who they are. We see them in Hoboken, we see them in Jersey City, and we saw other activists, right, who somehow think that, promoting, obesity online is somehow a healthy thing. But it's these sort of activists, folks, that were determined to get me out of this event, and they were successful. Of course, they went bitching and moaning to the candidates, and subsequently the candidates caved to all of these children. Now, I can't really fault the candidates. Again, they're trying to win votes. I'll continue getting views and making money, but the candidates are concerned with alienating any part of the voter base. So, subsequently, of course, HUDPost decided to publish an article on this entire saga. Well, to no one's surprise, of course, there was significant vitriol directed at me over the summer months because of really my media brand, my award-winning media brand. And folks, whether it was former classmates, locals, and the regular activists on social media here in Hudson County, there was no shortage of opinions about removing me from the mayoral forum. Now, credit to John Highness, once again the editor of the Hudson County View, for deciding not to host a mayoral forum in Jersey City during the summer, specifically because of alienating yours truly. That's why I love John. John's loyal, and we're boys, and we're bros, and again, there's an element of solidarity here about not letting the local children win. And what I mean by children, I mean, like, again, the local social justice clowns, the woke fools, the alphabet mob, right? Because at the end of the day, if they don't get their way, they'll just keep having hissy fits. That's all the left is good for, specifically the alphabet mob in Jersey City. So, of course, you had the usual people opining with the HUDPost article and other parts of social media. Like, women like Stuart Thomas, one of James Solomon's campaign operatives. Now, what's interesting about Stewie, though, is, of course, since he doesn't watch my show, he'll just sort of base it off of the fact he doesn't like conservatives. Well, to the hell with Stuart Thomas. I'm not really interested in what this woman's opinion is, but certainly he felt the need to give an opinion on the HuffPost article, as well as others within the LGBTQ plus A minus, division sign, multiplication sign community in Jersey City. Of course, Kayla Burrell, the insufferable lesbian that started this entire saga, certainly was quoted as well. Now, I think, as I was also interviewed for the article, I think better quotes could have been used, and I'm certainly not pleased with HuffPost, but I'm over it. But what I'm not over, folks, is the attempt to try to cancel me by going after my bosses, by going after my advertising, by trying to hit me in the pocket. Because, folks, again, this is what the left loves to do. They love to preach perpetual victimhood, but again, they're quick to go after people and cancel them, and in some cases, kill them. We saw that recently with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. More on that later. But getting back to Jersey City, folks, and one of the things that I remember doing over the summer was submitting an op-ed, and some local sites published it, some did not. Now, again, I don't mind calling them out. So whether it's Hudson TV, Tap Into Hoboken, Tap Into Jersey City, the Jersey City Times. Now, again, I specifically don't have a problem with Julio Reynoso from Hudson County TV, Steve Lennox from Tap Into Hoboken and Jersey City and Tap Into Bayonne, along with Aaron Morrill from the Jersey City Times. Personally, I think they're nice guys, but I think they all lack a spine, because they'd rather cave to the alphabet mob than take a stand, than actually have a set in between their legs. I do, and I don't mind calling out the alphabet mob for their infantile tactics. Now, here's a newsflash. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still making money, I'm still getting traffic, and I'm still getting views, because people rely on my brand of fearless independent journalism to tell them exactly what's going on in our political climate, not just about national topics, but state and local as well. But folks, trust me, I won't be deterred. And we saw that over the summer as I not even double down, I triple down with going after elements of wokeism. Because I'm not someone that's going to cater to the mentally ill, trans people, transgender people. Because, folks, transgenderism is mental illness. It's as simple as that. Don't give me this bullshit or narrative from the World Health Organization or the American Psychiatric Association, because as we all know, folks, let's be honest, the CDC or the World Health Organization, we all know that their narratives were all bullshit during the pandemic. So you expect me to take them seriously now? Yeah, no thanks. But a specific line that I said during my op-ed, I think resonates still today. And I'll just sort of read this back to you from the summer. Now, in this case, the idea of a white liberal woman attempting to silence a brown man is quite funny to me. It's funny because she will never succeed at all. Whatever views I hold concerning the trans community are my business, and most importantly, I'm entitled to my religious beliefs, in addition to being able to rationally explain why I disagree with them. Now, I don't get emotional about this. People like Kayla Burrell do. We're not the same. Now, Kayla Burrell is one of those in the woke mob who would rather silence me than actually engage in a dialogue. And I challenged her to come on my program, Real Talk with Fernando Uribe, via Jersey First TV, which is live every Monday night. And I challenged Kayla to come on. And of course, non-existent, like many women, they never want to have any accountability. And Kayla Burrell is no different. So color me surprised about a woman not wanting to be held accountable for something. Wow. Gee, another breaking news, folks. Water, wet, sky, blue. But let's continue. She couldn't even muster up the courage to engage me online, and instead, of course, had other insufferable activists fight her battles for her. So I said, great job, Kayla. You got your way. But you also got my attention now online, and trust me, honey, that isn't a good thing. You can ask many elected officials in Hudson County, along with activists, propagandists, journalists, and advocates throughout New Jersey who have done the same thing. Now, for me, folks, eviscerating these children on my show has been an informative resource for many residents, and even an entertaining one as well. They've tried to do the same thing you have, because I'm not going anywhere. Well, I won't utilize vulgarity in my op-ed, just like I don't on this program. Just Google Leonardo DiCaprio's character, Jordan Belfort, in The Wolf of Wall Street. You know which line I'm referring to, right, Kayla? Yeah, I'm not effing leaving. And trust me, Kayla, you'll learn that too. That's how I felt about addressing insufferable activists here in Hudson County, folks. But cancel culture is real. And in some cases, when you don't like opinions that you hear online or see, it can get you killed. And we saw that just last week with the passing of Charlie Kirk, who was murdered at only the age of 31. And my thoughts go out to his wife, Erica, and his two beautiful children, ages 3 and 1. And these two beautiful kids will never get to even know their father. They'll get to know him on YouTube and see memories of him and images of him, but they'll never get to know their dad. Why? Because of the intolerant left. And folks, let's be very honest. And I've taken the high road in going to vigils and speaking at candlelight vigils for Charlie Kirk. Now, I had the pleasure of meeting Charlie Kirk a few years ago at Rutgers University, my alma mater, when Turning Points USA came to Rutgers. And trust me, folks, there was a lot of online vitriol and a lot of scandal about Turning Points USA coming to Rutgers. And my alma mater is one of the more liberal institutions anywhere in the country. And believe me, I was starstruck when I met Charlie. And I usually don't get starstruck, but I had developed quite a healthy admiration and respect for Charlie Kirk. I would watch his videos quite often. I would watch his campus tours when he would peacefully and calmly debate people he disagreed with, because that's what he promoted ultimately. Peaceful dialogue, peaceful debate. And when I went up to him, I shook his hand, and I was starstruck, folks. But you know what? He was just a regular guy. We sat down after the event, during dinner with others, and he was the easiest guy to talk to. He was so personable. He was so down to earth. And for a guy that developed so much fame at such a young age, you would think it would have gotten to his head. No, it didn't, folks. Charlie Kirk was the least arrogant person I think that I ever met when meeting a celebrity. And when I see his strong conservative principles, the importance of faith and family, the importance of believing in God and Jesus Christ and embracing that into your everyday living. Charlie Kirk was quite an American. He was quite a dad. He was quite a human being. And for his, I guess, desire to debate those he disagreed with, that got him killed. Because again, folks, don't be fooled by it. And I tried taking the high road during vigils, but it was hard to. Because folks, when we think about this rhetoric that, well, there's violent rhetoric on both sides. No, folks, there isn't. There are some conservatives and some on the right that certainly can be pretty volatile. But folks, for the last 4 or 5 years, the volatile rhetoric, overwhelmingly has come from the left. By labeling people that they disagree with as Nazis and fascists and bigots and homophobes and xenophobes and Islamophobes and transphobes. That's what the left loves to do. They don't like hearing opinions. They'll vilify you. They'll engage in vitriol against you. They'll try to cancel you online. They'll try to cancel you in the public arena. That's what the left loves to do. And they tried doing that to Charlie Kirk. Because in the grand scheme of things, folks, they couldn't beat Charlie Kirk in debates. They couldn't beat him with words. Unfortunately, they had to beat him with bullets. That's all it took, is one bullet to end his life. And folks, I'll never unsee that video. And I remember sitting in the Margaret Williams Theater at New Jersey University for the investiture of the 13th president of New Jersey University, Andres Acebo. More on him later. As I'm sitting there watching this beautiful ceremony, I'm watching my Twitter blow up. I'm watching my Instagram blow up and seeing that horrible image that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Seeing Charlie Kirk being gunned down by a sniper with a rifle. He didn't deserve that. And listen, folks, there are plenty of people I disagree with locally, and there are plenty of socialists and progressives, and again, woke fools and smelly cat ladies and obese feminists, and there are tons of people I disagree with. I would never, ever wish any physical harm or death on them. Would I wish maybe like a painful experience with diarrhea for 30 minutes? Sure, that's about it. But that's not permanent, folks. I would never wish death or harm or long-term physical harm on anyone I disagree with. Because I welcome debate. I welcome discussions. Don't believe me? Folks, watch Real Talk every Monday night, live at 6 p.m. on Jersey First. And I've had some insufferable people on. Trust me when I tell you. But I'll talk to people on the right, on the left, in the middle, and we'll have constructive conversations. We'll have informative dialogues. And we can disagree without being disagreeable. That's the importance of dialogue. That's the importance of discourse. And that's what Charlie Kirk taught us. And I value my experience in meeting Charlie Kirk and talking to him during a dinner. And making sure that, hey, when you engage the left, make sure you engage them with facts and numbers and stats. Because at the end of the day, folks, our ideas are going to win out. They've been winning out. They won last November. So while locals here in municipal races or even the gubernatorial race in New Jersey, while they're worrying about pronouns and coddling mentally ill people, trans people, and wanting to coddle illegals at the cost of $7 billion here in New Jersey, that's what it costs taxpayers here in New Jersey, to coddle illegals, to give them everything that they're getting in the state. These are the things that conservatism rallies against. These are the things Charlie Kirk rallied against. And even here at the local level, yes, like I said, some locals are more concerned with pronouns and identity nonsense and making sure that their pronouns are in their email signature and making sure that, oh, we have to protect trans people at all costs. I don't give a shit. I never have and never will. That's not going to change. So, folks, I'm not going to double down on this. I'm going to triple down and quadruple down on this. We got to keep fighting for Charlie. We got to keep fighting for strong Christian conservative values, the importance of family and faith and believing in a higher power and knowing that, you know what, that higher power has a specific goal and mission for you. That's what we should take from Charlie Kirk. That's what we should take from conservatives. That's what we should take when we fight against cancel culture and the left, because that's all they believe in. Yeah, they're the tolerant ones, sure. They're tolerant when they hear something they like. They're open-minded when they hear something they like. But trust me, folks, the minute they don't, they'll go after you. Don't believe me? Yeah, quick Google search on Fernando Uribe will tell you otherwise. But I'm not deterred, folks. I'm not disillusioned, and trust me, I'm motivated now more than ever to speak up for regular, everyday people about issues that matter, kitchen table issues, the meat and potatoes that matter to all of us. Why our utility bills are going up in New Jersey, why our taxes keep going up, why the gas tax goes up, right? As it's supposed to fund the Transportation Trust Fund, but yet, as AAA will rank New Jersey in the bottom third of roads in the country. Or the tolls in the Parkway and the Turnpike went up. If you traveled this summer, you would know that. But these are the issues that matter today, folks. These are the issues that matter here in November. And in 50 days, we have a chance to flip New Jersey red. And it is our best chance to do that. Not believing in pronouns and all the woke bullshit and coddling illegals. No, folks, we're tired of it. The country spoke last November. Here in New Jersey, we're going to speak as well. And while Rebecca Sherrill is pretty much the Kamala Harris of 2025, folks, you thought the word salads were bad last year? Check out our commercials now. Folks, flipping New Jersey red is the only hope we're going to have here in New Jersey about trying to bring costs down, about trying to make New Jersey affordable, because that's what matters. And even in local elections, coming up in Jersey City, in Hoboken, Secaucus, Kearney, and Guttenberg, these mayoral races, this is what matters. Not pronouns, not coddling mentally ill people, trans people, not acquiescing to the alphabet mob because, hey, we got to cater to them all days of the year. F that, folks. I got no interest in that. I have an interest in talking about the issues that matter to you, homeowners, taxpayers, renters. These are the issues that matter every day. But yes, many on the left, whether it's in Hudson County or New Jersey or nationally, will demonize people like me. And they demonize people like Charlie Kirk, so much so that it cost him his life. Let's be better, folks. Let's win with ideas, not bullets. Let's win with dialogue and narratives, not violence. That's what matters now more than ever. And if we want to learn anything from Charlie Kirk, it's to engage people you disagree with now more than ever. Because guess what? Maybe you can come to an agreement. Maybe you can come to the middle on some policies and some beliefs and some constructive dialogue. That's what helps, folks. Not shutting the other people down, not cancel culture. Folks, cancel culture sucks. I learned it firsthand over the summer. Now, thankfully for me, I'm going to keep talking shit. And I'm going to keep chirping and wanting all the smoke from all the locals. And that's okay. I can handle it. I'm a big boy. Because when it comes to like the low testosterone soy boys when we see on the left in Hudson County, especially Jersey City, yeah, folks, they're not ones to be afraid of. Like Stuart Thomas. You know that woman that works with James Solomon? Yeah. Don't let the beard fool you, folks. He's as feminine as it comes. Or other insufferable operatives in Jersey City. It's time to fight back against these people, folks. You can't let them hijack the narrative. Because at the end of the day, it's regular issues for regular people that matter. Not identity, not woke bullshit. And if anything we've learned this summer and this fall is to make sure we fight back against that. Because you know what? The stakes are too high. Now more than ever. And that's what I'm thinking about right now. Now some local news for your consideration. And folks, I am delighted to announce that I was in attendance last week at the Margaret Williams Theater on the campus of New Jersey University as Andres Acebo became the 13th president of NJCU. Now, Andres showed a lot of leadership throughout these years in taking NJCU from the brink of bankruptcy to the cusp of prosperity. As shout out to John Highness, the editor of the Hudson County View, for his reporting on this story. Now, Andres was inducted in the investiture ceremony inside the Margaret Williams Theater, again, after 7 weeks after the Board of Trustees removed his interim tag. Now, quote, again, by the new president of NJCU, immigrants who carried hope across oceans, first-generation college students who carried dreams across generations, working parents who carried textbooks in one hand and child schedules in the other, veterans who carried the weight of service, dreamers who carried the promise of tomorrow, learning to translate their ambition and purpose, but spoke it proudly with an accent that reveals what they carry and who they carry it for. They made this campus the most beautiful thing a university can be, a mirror of its community. Shout out to Andres Acebo with a great quote there. Now, for example, a lot of his leadership has been on full display for some years, folks. Now, since taking office during a financial emergency in January of 2023, Acebo's leadership has been praised internally by school officials for a number of reasons. For starters, Moody's ratings upgraded NJCU's outlook from negative to stable in February 2024, followed by the Fitch ratings doing the same in November of 2024. Then in May of 2025, Moody's upgraded NJCU's outlook from stable to positive, the first time Moody's has ever assigned a positive outlook to the university. In early January 2023, quote, again, according to the Board of Trustees chair, Luke Visconti, which he added via video remarks during the ceremony, in early January 2023, when we found ourselves at one of the most perilous moments in our university's 98-year history, the Board of Trustees came to Andy and asked him to step into a role that would have intimidated most seasoned administrators. Quote, nobody could have anticipated the scope of his success. The board's unanimous decision to appoint Andy as our 13th president wasn't just recognition of his achievements, it was acknowledgement that his vision had secured our campus for generations to come. Folks, in 2 years, NJC will celebrate its 100th anniversary. And we can thank Andres Acebo for that, for his leadership, for his tenacity, for making tough choices, for having to sit down with faculty and administrators and make some very, very difficult decisions about funding, about expenses and spending. And that's not easy for a guy with very limited experience in higher education. But folks, if there was someone to bet on, it was Andres Acebo. Now, I'm proud to call Andres a friend, and I don't apologize for that. Our families have known each other for many, many years. And I was the only vocal, I guess, supporter of Andres Acebo for many years now. And while the Jersey Journal went out of business, and again, I feel bad for people that worked in circulation and the marketing department, who I don't feel bad for was the unemployment of disgusting, despicable propagandists masquerading as journalists. You know, Josh Rosario, Terry West, Ron Zellniger. And folks, I enjoyed cooking these clowns on a weekly basis, not just on this program, but also on Real Talk via Jersey First TV. And while the Jersey Journal never once vilified Andres' predecessor, who ran NJCU into the ground, somehow they always seem to have an issue with Andres Acebo. Gee, I don't know, Ron Zellniger, and folks, trust me, I'm the last guy to ever scream about identity politics. But isn't it interesting, when there was a white female president of NJCU, there wasn't a word out of Ron Zellniger, right? Uncle Ronnie didn't have a peep to say about her incompetence. But the minute that, a brown guy, specifically Cuban, took the lead at NJCU, then now somehow Uncle Ronnie started having problems. Then somehow, Slim, Josh Rosario, started having problems with Andres Acebo. So when the Jersey Journal went under, folks, I was ecstatic. I was ecstatic because that was the bill coming due for propagandists masquerading as journalists like Ron Zellniger and Josh Rosario. And to the victor go the spoils, folks. Congratulations to Andres Acebo. He navigated a lot of tough waters, a lot of personal adversity, a lot of obstacles, a lot of hatred, and a lot of cynicism. He turned all that around, folks, as he turned around NJCU. And with 2 years coming up now, as it will celebrate its 100th anniversary, let me tell you, NJCU is in good hands with Andres Acebo for the foreseeable future. In other local news, and let's move into also, and remaining in Jersey City, of course, Wardy Councilman and mayoral candidate James Solomon, of course, couldn't help himself with the latest example of Trump derangement syndrome here in Hudson County, which is pretty pervasive among all the social justice clowns, the woke fools, the obese feminists, the smelly cat ladies, and of course the alphabet mob. So of course, within his campaign, we have women like Stuart Thomas, who apparently didn't learn anything since last November when it comes to the usual Democrat playbook. And while Jersey residents are worried about affordability and property taxes and parking, no, James Solomon would rather rally for and show favoritism for illegals. So Once again, thank you to John Hines with the Hudson County for his reporting. Now, Councilman James Solomon is outlining how he will stand up for immigrant communities if he's elected to the city's highest office coming up on November the 4th. Quote, Jersey City is a city of immigrants. America's golden door is the home of Ellis Island. It was built on the principles of fairness, justice, and community. As mayor, I will fiercely defend our sanctuary protections, stand up to unlawful federal actions, and ensure every resident feels safe, respected, and valued. Our city's strength comes from our diversity, and I will fight to keep Jersey City a safe haven for all. Jersey City can and must stand up to Donald Trump and his MAGA allies. As mayor, I will always side with our community against threats from Washington. Now, again, folks, it doesn't cease to amaze me when it comes to people like James Solomon and other progressives that, again, should be worried about local issues. Because, folks, here's a newsflash. When it comes to your property taxes and parking, and whether your garbage gets picked up, or whether your snow gets shoveled during winters, it's not Donald Trump's fault. It's not have anything to do with Donald Trump about your affordability or why your life sucks living in Jersey City. But progressives like James Solomon and some of his campaign operatives, women like Stuart Thomas, will continue to preach this nonsensical narrative. When it comes to enforcing federal immigration law, that's the federal government's job. Now, we'll see who becomes governor in November, but hopefully if it's Jack Ciarelli, he'll rescind sanctuary statehood. Now, of course, municipalities will have the directive to whether or not to remain as sanctuary cities. But folks, with everything going wrong in Jersey City, Councilman Solomon, don't you think it's maybe time to, reassess and think about issues that matter to everyday Jersey City residents? Like, the meat and potato issues, public safety, property taxes, parking, public education. Those are the things that matter, not pronouns and all the woke bullshit that you and your operatives believe in. Because, folks, at the end of the day, Jersey City residents, they expect better. They want better. We'll see if they get better coming up on November the 4th. Lastly, folks, coming up in just a little less than a month, the 2025 edition of A Professor's Quest to Save Breasts will come to you from Waterside in North Bergen to benefit the American Cancer Society. As you can see the flyer there, obviously joining me will be my amazing co-hosts, Alexandra Hammer, Sylvia Sapinska, Vladimir Carrero, and of course, Jacqueline Rodriguez. And folks, we'll be doing our part to help raise awareness and raise funds for making strides against breast cancer during the month of October, which is coincidentally Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We'll have sangria and wine specials. We are asking for a modest $20 suggested donation at the door, and we'll have plenty of great prizes during the raffles, which include a 2-day pass to Sojo Spa in Edgewater, of course, Hand and Stone Spa in Edgewater as well, gift cards from multiple restaurants in the area, which include Rumba Cubana, Blue on the Hudson, Trattoria Napoli, and La Sorrentina. We'll have many more prizes, and we'll be announcing them in the coming weeks. But of course, folks, it's your chance to make a difference. Again, mark it on your calendars for Wednesday night, October the 15th, starting at 7 p.m. and we'll be going until closing time at the world-famous Waterside in North Bergen along the waterfront. And once again, folks, let's do our part, and together we can defeat breast cancer once and for all. And that's our show for this week. Once again, folks, if you've missed any part of great programming we have here with Hudson Media Group, check out Hudson Media Group on YouTube, of course. Make sure you like them on Facebook, and, of course, follow them on Instagram and also on X. You can check out my episodes as well there, folks. And always remember, if it's unbiased, unfiltered, and unafraid, it's always talking politics right here with the Hudson Media Group. Yes, folks, it's the generational talent in Garden State media. And I'll continue to be the sworn enemy of all the local social justice clowns, woke fools, obese feminists, insufferable smelly cat ladies, and, of course, the alphabet mob here in Hudson County and throughout New Jersey. That's right, folks. It's me, Fernando Uribe, saying so long. Thanks for stopping by. And always remember, folks, stay classy, everyone.